Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I am the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique and Flynn Sisters Supply Shop. And today we're going to be doing a fun video. I am going to be recreating an alcohol ink sunset tutorial from a while back. I had originally taught this exact cup in my mentorship group, which we no longer have anymore, but I thought it would be fun to recreate it with the materials and skill level that I have now. And this would be the third time that I have done this with this exact same design, and it's been a lot of fun to see the progression of it over the years. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know this is nothing groundbreaking. I have taught this technique on the channel before in kind of different colors, but I also wanted to take this video to kind of tell you some updates on what we have going on. It's a new year, certainly feels like a new me. I've gone through a lot of changes between 2024 and 2025. So we'll be going over some of those in this video. I hope you enjoy it. All the products that you see in this video are going to be listed and linked down below in the description box. You might even find some discount codes for you there as well. So that's definitely enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, you guys, so I started with a fully prepped and sanded cup, and I'm just spray painting it with a flat white spray paint. Definitely do not skip this step. You have to have the flat white spray paint for your base color in order for this technique with the inks to work. Once I've got that white down, I did want to spray paint the bottom black. This part is totally optional. You're going to see what it looks like in the end, but if you don't want to include this, you don't have to. Once my paint is fully dry to the touch, we're ready to move on to the next step. For my alcohol inks today, I've already poured them into my Tim Holtz alcohol ink palette, which I absolutely love. I will link it in the description box. I've got a couple medicine cups that are just filled with 91% rubbing alcohol. Those are going to be our clean cups. And I've just got some cheap brushes. All the colors that you see in this video will be listed and linked in the description box below. What I'm first going to do to paint here is pick up some of the ink from my palette, then a little bit of the rubbing alcohol, and then I'm going to test the saturation in my paper towel and see if I want it lighter or darker. If I want to add a little more ink, I can, but anytime I pick up ink or the rubbing alcohol, I like to just blot my brush onto the paper towel first. This ensures that I don't get too much liquid onto the cup at one time and start dripping and making a mess. You really want to strike that balance between having enough liquid to saturate the brush while also not having too much to where it's going to drip all over. These inks dry really fast once they're put onto the cup, so it's really easy to go back over where you've already pounced on some color and add up more color to layer and add in some depth. And again, just keep adding to that saturation of color until you're happy with that look for that particular color section. Then I'm going to start moving on into darker colors and really just keep repeating that same technique. And anytime I don't like the way two colors have intersected, I can just go in with some rubbing alcohol only, blot off the excess, and then start daubing the alcohol in between those color sections until the lines start to blend better and the colors achieve more of a watercolor blended effect rather than a droplet effect like you start to see as the colors start to build. You'll notice that I also will bounce back and forth between colors, so I'll go from the darker one back to the lighter one and then back again, just in case I see some spots where I want to balance it out with a little bit of one color or the other. I hope that all makes sense, but this is really kind of an intuitive way of painting. I don't know if that's what it's called either. I just kind of let the design carry me where it needs to add color or I think it makes sense. This is very forgiving. So if there's a section that you don't like, you can just go over it with more color and it's going to blend in pretty seamlessly. It just starts to get a little muddled if you don't take the time to really clean between colors on your brushes, or like I said, blot on your paper towel first before you introduce a color onto the cup. That way you know what it's going to look like before it gets onto the cup. Okay, that's a lot of talking. I feel like this technique is a lot of explaining, which is typically why I like to teach it live. If you watched my tutorial back in December, the last tutorial that I uploaded, we did this technique on some Christmas ornaments, which happened to be one of my favorite tutorials. I absolutely love how those ornaments turned out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish enough of them to gift them this year, but I do plan on saving them and gifting them for my friends next year. Anyway, some updates on what I have going on, since this is really just me painting the cup and there's not much more I can say about it. We recently closed our mentorship group. As some of you know, we have had a paid mentorship group for about 4 years now, and that was our Flynn Sisters exclusives. And we absolutely loved that group. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll see the slide at the end where we thank our members, because truly without them, I would not have been able to create content for as long as I've been able to, or support my family, or open the supply shop. They've made so much of our dreams come true, and we have had so much fun with them every week in that group. It's been really sad to close that chapter, but all good things must come to an end. It was time. We have a lot more responsibilities now with the supply shop as business owners than we did just a couple years ago. Our business has grown a lot, and running an epoxy company has a lot of complications and stresses. And not to mention, we carry a very large line of rhinestones that takes a lot of inventory management and planning and logistics. But my husband and I run our business together. It's just him and I, and we have 2 employees. Our warehouse is located in Lakewood, Washington, and we have been selling epoxy, rhinestones, accessories, vinyl for 2 years now. And so we are very proud of our supply shop business and how much it has grown. And we are very thankful that we have been given this opportunity to serve our community in this way with the best products that we can possibly provide. And our goal in 2025 as business owners is to get even better. We have 2 years of data and 2 years of information and all of that on how you guys feel about our epoxy. And the same problems that you have with our epoxy are the same problems I have, because I use this epoxy every single day. And so we are working to improve your experience with us as customers, your experience with me as a creator here on the channel, and just really create the best experience we can around our products and the Flynn Sisters brand. I've always tried to improve that every year. But in 2025, I feel like we're especially poised and ready to put our best foot forward. And I'm excited to do that now as more of a business owner and less of, I guess, a content creator. Since I don't have the membership group anymore, I just really want to step into more of a role of like a business owner. I do own an epoxy company, and I think maybe I forget that sometimes. So I'm just really looking forward to this new phase in my career, really, and I'm excited to bring you guys along for the ride. Some of you have been with my channel since the very beginning when we launched it January 2020, and it's been a lot of life since then. I mean, we've bought a house, we've opened up the business, we've done all kinds of things, and it's just been it's been amazing. And I can't thank you guys enough for this opportunity, because really all the great things started here on YouTube. This is where I guess I got my big break, and 5 years on YouTube. Wowee. It's been amazing. And I can't believe that. I'm really excited to be making more videos. But here I am. I really am more excited to be making more videos and continue to share my art with you and my life. And I'm just so thankful that there's still people here to watch and enjoy it. So thank you guys for coming along this journey with us and growing with me. I know that I've grown a lot as a person since then and now. Biggest change over 2024 to 2025 was my health. I made a video about this a few videos back about losing my weight and getting my hormones in control and my health and really taking charge of that. And I've been able to really adopt a whole new lifestyle. So that was a whole other thing that we did last year. And I am so thankful because health is wealth. I've really put that as my number one priority next to my children. And I want to provide a healthier life for them through just being a healthier mom. And if mom's healthy, the whole family's healthy. So that's been really important to me personally. But anyhow, yeah, that's what we have going on for 2025. I'm excited for you guys and see what blessings 2025 has in store for you. If you haven't already, I would highly recommend writing down your goals for the year. If you haven't already, write down a 5-year goal, your 10-year goal. But every year at the beginning of the year, Corey and I like to sit down and write what we hope to achieve for the year. And usually if I haven't achieved it within the year, I get it within the next year. And I'm happy to report that I have officially crossed off every one of my professional and personal goals. So now I have to come up with some new cool stuff to do. But yeah, anyhow, that's enough chit chat for me. Back to the tutorial. You'll see that we have managed to paint an entire sunset after all that yapping. But now we're going to put on our first coat of epoxy. Make sure that you let those alcohol inks dry for at least 10 to 12 hours. I let mine sit overnight. You want those things to come bone dry before we put on some epoxy. We're not going to seal those inks either. I never seal them. We just go straight in with epoxy. I'm using Fast Cure for this layer because I want to hurry up and put some cute stuff on this cup. So I've got 30 milliliters already mixed and I added a very tiny amount of glitter. Less is more here, okay? You can add too much and mess it up. Remember that you can always add more glitter, you just can't take it away. So add just a little bit. If you want to add more, you can. But trust me, with this glitter, less is more. This is the Pink Platinum Fine Cut from It's Pretty Personal. I'll have it linked and listed down below in the description box. I'm going to coat my cup like I normally would and then hit it with my torch to pop any bubbles. And I'm going to let this dry for about 2 hours before we move on to the next step. Remember that your dry times may vary based on the type and brand of epoxy that you're using. It's been about 4 hours and now I'm ready to apply my decals. I've already cut this with my Cricut using just regular white vinyl. I will link the exact vinyl that I used down in the description box. Somebody asked me last week in my comments if I could start doing that, and I realized that I really do neglect to include the type of vinyl and transfer tape that I use, so I'm going to put that in there. Here's a really cute picture that my daughter drew. She's 8. Well, she's about to be 8, and she wanted me to show you that picture. Anyway, I'm going to put my decals on like I normally would using the hinge method. I used just a little overhang of transfer tape from that decal to apply it. Now I'm going to apply this desert silhouette that I have. I also cut this with just permanent vinyl with my Cricut. I will link the file that I used for it down below in the description box. And I'm just going to apply this all along the bottom of my cup. If I get a little bit of overhang or it's not totally even, it's okay because we're going to go around and snip off the excess with our edge trimmer. It's important if you're using your edge trimmer at this stage of the game to not press too hard because we don't want to accidentally slice into that layer of epoxy because we could just cut it clean off. All right, once we cut off that excess vinyl and everything's nice and smooth, I'm going to blend the line between the bottom of that vinyl and the very bottom of the tumbler with a black acrylic marker. It just helped to kind of blend the transition there. You could totally skip this step. Remember earlier we were talking about whether or not you wanted to paint the bottom of that cup black. That would kind of be the reason you wouldn't paint it black, is if you didn't want to deal with blending that transition and just painting it black after you put that decal on. So that's totally up to you. But anyway, after that, I hand painted the stars with a little white acrylic paint marker, and then I also signed the bottom. I also forgot to do a rim job on this before I applied my decals and paint, so I'm doing it at this stage. Definitely wanted to do that before decals, but I forgot. Anyway, we're going around the rim with 120 grit sandpaper, just enough to clear off some like stainless steel around that top rim. The stainless steel is where our final coats of epoxy will adhere to create the final seal for our tumbler on the outer rim rather than the very top rim where it's more vulnerable. I'm going to clean off the excess with a little rubbing alcohol and paper towel. Then we're going to clean off any remaining debris with some tack cloth and go in with our final coats of epoxy. I'm going to use Artist Cure for our final coats on this one, just to make sure we can keep those layers bright and beautiful for a very long time. When you're going around the handle, just kind of take your time. You can even turn your turner off for a minute just to make sure that you really take your time getting in, under, around, and through that handle smoothly. After I have my whole cup coated evenly, I'm going to hit it with my torch to pop any remaining bubbles, and we'll let this dry for the recommended dry time until it's completely cured and we are done. That's it for this tutorial. Super simple and easy. I hope you guys enjoyed it and the update. Thanks for sticking around this long and watching. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm uploading every week. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again soon. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.